water hyacinth, also known as the Nile rose, was said to be cultivated on the Nile as a decoration to beautify the mighty river. But time has proven that beauty has a cost. The rose is an economical and ecological burden to many regions of the world. For over a century, Egypt and many other countries worldwide have focused their efforts on removing, managing, and sometimes even eradicating this aquatic plant.
This global issue has endangered the inhabitants of Kafr al-Sheikh. Badr, a little boy there, lives in fear of losing his father just because he's a fisherman. You see, most of the water bodies are covered with this highly invasive rose, so he finds difficulty to navigate through the waters and find fish, and in desperation, sails in his fragile boat to dangerous territorial waters, almost losing his life along the way. In 2018, 5 fishermen died this way.
The water hyacinth impacts over 50 countries worldwide, surprisingly costing over $150 billion to control. That's because theoretically, if we don't do this and we leave it untamed, it can cover the whole globe's freshwater bodies in almost 3 years, depriving mankind of fresh, drinkable water. We personally came upon this crisis in Egypt when we traveled to Kafr al-Sheikh Governorate, where the Nile water has been covered by this plant, eliminating the potential of fishing to the thousands of fishermen living there, depriving them from their only source of income. Eventually, this pretty rose has led to thousands of families to fall below the poverty line.
But at Enactus Egypt, we believe that every problem has in it the seeds of its own solution. So we started our entrepreneurial journey by traveling over 2,500 kilometers and spending over 1,000 hours studying the Nile rose to see how to turn this destructive plant into products that can be beneficial for the sustainable development of our earth. And from here, Project Cellulose stemmed to life. Project Cellulose is a 3-stage project that utilizes every single part of the Nile rose to create economic development. So, we started by analyzing and studying the components of each part of this plant. Our lab tests have shown that it's the roots and stems that contain an astounding amount of a substance named cellulose. Cellulose is an essential material that is globally used in manufacturing paper, textiles, pharmaceuticals, and even more. Since cellulose is incorporated in so many industries, its global market size jumped to $260 billion. And according to the World Trade Organization, Egypt's cellulose imports in 2020 alone reached $64 million. With the demand being so high, we asked ourselves, how can we bridge the gap between the lack of the local cellulose supply and the increasing market demand? The answer was right between our hands. We just needed to extract it. The answer lies in the stems and roots of the plant, which already composes of 50% of cellulose.
So, Project Cellulose worked with 80 local fishermen on manufacturing 7 extraction tanks that utilize this rose to produce cellulose. The tanks produced 1.5 tons of cellulose monthly, and each ton is sold for $1,250, generating a net profit of $350 per ton for the beneficiaries. By selling 28 tons in 4 months to local factories that use cellulose in their industries, our beneficiaries were able to generate $35,000 in revenue, yielding a profit margin of 28%. Since cellulose is used in many industries, the channel opportunities are endless. We are experiencing rapid sales growth. To meet this increasing demand, Cellulose partnered with Simplex, one of the top industrial solution companies in the MENA region, to manufacture an entire cellulose extraction system. This allows us to increase our production capacity from 1.5 to 15 tons of cellulose per month, therefore working towards fulfilling Egypt's cellulose market demand.
But here's the catch. We decided to create disruptive change across the value chain by producing something that's never been done before in Egypt: alpha cellulose extraction from the Nile rose. Our scientific research team worked on manufacturing a new extraction system that can be used to extract the alpha cellulose, which is the purest and finest form of cellulose and is normally used in manufacturing medicine. This explains why a ton of it is globally sold for over $64,000. But wait, it gets better. We tested the extracted alpha cellulose at the Ministry of Agriculture. Lab tests conducted there confirmed that it's 76% pure and meets international standards.
So, Cellulose focused its efforts on targeting countries that import huge amounts of alpha cellulose for their industries, such as China and India. And we're currently in conversation with two of the largest chemical companies there to start exporting to them, selling each ton for $50,000, which is 22% less than the international market price. So, our alpha cellulose is of a high quality, yet a cheaper price. This will help put Egypt on the map of the top alpha cellulose exporters in the world. However, as we watch the coronavirus pandemic play out on a global scale, it's easy to feel helpless in front of it. But Project Cellulose chose taking action instead. We noticed that Egypt is facing an epic shortage of medical supplies, especially gowns, which are normally imported from abroad. Once we identified this huge market gap, we doubled our efforts and focused on filling it by using our antibacterial alpha cellulose to produce high-quality medical gowns.
We did so by contracting with a local company to buy the alpha cellulose our beneficiaries extract and to use it in manufacturing those gowns. This is more than just an innovative product. Compared to the imported gowns, ours are of higher quality, more breathable, and 30% cheaper than the global one. And so far, they've bought 50 kilograms to produce 4,500 medical gowns. So Project Cellulose has not just saved Egypt's water from the Nile rose, but has also contributed to the making of a resilient local medical gown production cycle. We are proud to say it's made in Egypt.
Agriculture is a major component in Egypt's economy, contributing to 14.7% of the GDP. And the agriculture here in Kafr Sheikh alone has a huge impact on our economy. However, the immense number of chemical fertilizers that have been used there has deteriorated the soil's health, which takes us to the second phase of our project.
We found a method to use the water waste from this project, which is rich in nutrients, to produce an organic compost named black liquor that helps condition the soil. Lab tests have shown that this black liquor improves the soil's quality by 25%, therefore facilitating the crop growth rate. So, Project Cellulose opened a second revenue stream by teaching the beneficiaries how to produce this liquor and sell it. Each ton of flour yields 900 liters of black liquor. So far, our beneficiaries have sold 2,400 liters, each for $1.3, generating over $3,000 in revenue. Not just that, the newly installed extraction tanks will allow us to increase our production capacity from 900 to 13,000 liters per month, working towards generating over $17,000 in revenue per month.
But Project Cellulose wouldn't be called a zero-waste project if we haven't utilized every single part of the flour. So we conducted lab tests to determine how to make advantage of the petals, which were previously burnt, causing harm to our environment. Reports show that they contain nutrients that are beneficial in organic feed. So we researched a scientific method to produce fish feed from the petals to further nourish the fishing industry in Kafr Sheikh. After several trials and errors, we tested our prototype at the Ministry of Agriculture, which confirmed that our feed includes 18% more protein and 15% more fiber than the feed normally used in farms. So we passed down our entrepreneurship to 500 villagers and taught them how to produce and sell it, providing them with a third channel of revenue.
It's worth mentioning that a ton of petals produces a ton of feed, which is sold for $260. And so far, our beneficiaries can produce 3 tons of petals every month, allowing them to generate a total of $780 in revenue per month.
Now that we have control over the Nile rose population and we're utilizing every part to improve the livelihoods of so many people, let's take an overview of the impact we've made.
We started by expanding our entrepreneurship to 80 villagers in just Kafr Sheikh. and increased their income by 175%, elevating them above the poverty line. Project Cellulose also prevented thousands of kilograms of waste from being burned, ensuring zero waste through this project and working towards ensuring the safety of our ecosystem, and generated a total revenue of over $100,000 in just 4 months.
We care about the impact we make, so we had to ensure sustainability by signing MOU contracts with 3 local and 4 governmental entities to buy our fish feed, cellulose, medical gowns, and fertilizer, ensuring a continuous cycle of supply and demand.
We may have started this project in Kafr al-Sheikh alone and currently expanding over 11 villages in Egypt that are facing this Nile rose issue. But we're also taking this local solution to a global level to leave an impact on each country of the 50 countries affected by this issue. And that's the business spirit. According to our business model, we're expanding this project to impact every single country of the 50 countries affected by this plan.
This year, we worked on achieving 11 SDGs, directly impacting 1,400 people, indirectly impacting 30,150 people, changing a total of 31,550 lives.
The beauty of the Nile rose brought us together to empower the economy and build hope for the people of Kafr al-Sheikh. The entire community had their lives altered to the better. And that's why we take pride in ourselves as entrepreneurs who look beyond competitions and awards, thriving for something bigger and more impactful. We are paving the road for all entrepreneurs to build a more sustainable world all together.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dream. And here, we turn these dreams into a reality.